Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm recording this in bed because I am crashing from all of the art binging that I've been on in the last few days. I am not proud with how my art career has turned out. Um, I have a difficult time with doing anything in normal amounts, right? Whether it be my food intake, my drug habits, right? Caffeine especially, my art projects, anything I touch, I either do too much of or I have to swear off completely. I have never successfully done anything in moderation, whether it be a substance or a habit. It is so weird, and so once again, I am crashing, and I. But I noticed something today. See, I began my art career in earnest around. Well, I started making bismuth arts a little bit over 2 years ago, but it wasn't really until uh, early 2023, right? 2023 is when I made the resolution that the art itself should become a big part of my career, and also around the same time is when I started to shout the Peter Dislike Show on my video, right? And I was looking at another fellow YouTuber who had made a parody of me shouting the Peter Dislike Show, and it occurred to me how 2 years have just flown by, right? Now let's contrast that to the 2 years previous to that. I had two very toxic jobs. I was working at, when I was in Seattle, I was teaching at Washington Technology University. They eventually folded, and toward the end of my time there was a lot of unhappiness, right? A lot of disagreements about the end of the school closing there. And I worked at two different tutoring centers with very toxic managers. Around this, obviously, COVID was still going on at the time, and there was a lot of uneasiness about that. Those 2 years drug on forever, right? And it just goes to show you can either have a good time or you could have a really long life, right? But you really can't have both, right? So if you're cursing that time is going too fast, maybe the alternative could be even worse, right? That's just sad how it turns out. I wish I could have years that lasted as long as 2021 or 2022 did, but have the kind of happiness that 23 or 24 did, right? I wish I could have both, right? If anybody has a suggestion on how to have both, feel free to leave a comment, right? It's kind of weird. As for the solo sexuality issue, well, here's the problem. I really love going on dates with myself, right? If there's a good movie coming up, I can't imagine having to share that experience with another human. I hate it. I have to watch my table manners. I have to watch etiquette. I have to dress well. I have to remove all the clutter from my car. As an artist, there's always a ton of crap in my car. In fact, when I was living in Seattle, I often had my car broken into just because there was so much crap in there. Right? People wanted to see if there was anything good hidden in the car. Funny thing is that one time I had some clothes and an old computer stolen, and the thief missed a $30,000 silver bar under the seat, and so I need to have better habits with my art. I get too carried away with my art projects that I forget to live a little bit sometimes. But I really love not having to think and just go into my favorite restaurant, go to my favorite movie, and all that. And unfortunately, earlier this year, I got very ill first with COVID-19, and then I got poisoned working with heavy metals, and I would be bedridden just like today. Right, today I'm kind of poisoned by staying up too late. Right, it's not so bad compared to the COVID-19 or the tin or bismuth poisoning, but I was very ill, and I didn't even have somebody to get me a glass of water. I was weak, and I was thinking to myself, gee, I really love the relationship with myself, but being married to yourself is kind of like having a spouse that you always get sick together. You always lose your jobs together. You always have all sorts of drama together, right? And so, it, so that's when I decided that maybe I need to go out to network with the right people. Now, part of the problem here in the United States is that it is impossible on your first date to ask a potential life partner their ideas on having children, on career matters, on anything like that. And it just forces us to waste a lot of time. And again, we don't have unlimited time, right? Like I said, I pick up a piece of art and already 2 years have flown by, right? I shout Peter dislike into the camera and months will fly by and I forget. Gee, did that is that video really 5 months old, right? And so that's just sad, right? I wish we could go on our first date and instantly talk about what we feel about children, what we feel about do we need sex in our relationship, what we feel about career matters, right? How compare our finances even. I wish we could do that because yes, we might disappoint each other on day one, but guess what? We can move on then, right? I'd rather do that than to waste many, many years and then realize that we're incompatible, right? Unfortunately, I've been through that many times. Unfortunately, entire decades have flown by where I've wasted one relationship after another on people who were incompatible, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.